assistant directors in the film business, and they were prepared to give all that up and manage the band and put some money into it. I think they lied about the money.
And I look at these guys, but they weren't handsome. You know, they weren't nice. They were sort of like misfits.
Yeah, I mean, basically the film being on, Kit Lambert and Chris Stamp, I'm basically telling, kind of like a love story. I mean, it's kind of like a story that has like a fantastic set of circumstances, but it's, and that's all great, for story and narrative. You have two like completely opposite people that end up in this kind of gay straight love story between two guys, but the character origins are so fascinating. How do you show that with one person present and one person not? It's like a real formal challenge. I knew that I had a great untold story, but we didn't, my partner Loretta Harms and I was producer and executive producer, we didn't, when we had the idea for the film, when we went to Chris Stamp, we had no idea what we would have available to us or not. But I knew that in Chris Stamp I had kind of like a fabulous leading man. I mean, I think he's just sort of like handsome, charismatic. He's like a fabulous storyteller. He looks great. So I have like a great leading man. And I have, as far as the film goes, like an incredible supporting cast. I have Pete Townshend and Roger Daltrey of The Who, and I have, from knowing Chris Stamp, a certain awareness of a viewpoint of how the relationship between he and Kit, how it played out in a series of, creative dynamics in building The Who from obscurity to megastardom, and the journey that it took Chris and Kit's relationship along the way. It's not like they chose like a great act to film and carry out the plan. Yeah, they were looking for something that embodied their own thoughts and feelings, and then the real genius of their the whole subsequent enterprise moving forward was the recognition that there was an entire group, there was an entire audience, there was an entire group of individuals, and at that time, that wasn't being represented, that wasn't being acknowledged, that didn't have a voice, whose identity wasn't being interacted with. And they saw that they could give voice and representation to that in a certain form, and what they offered was The Who.
They weren't handsome, they weren't nice. They were sort of like misfits.